Welcome to Raw Mind Sports. I'm your host, Ryan Jones. I got my guy Takoby Cofield here. How you doing today? Man, we got NFL draft talk. It was some good stuff. He's been a part of this NFL draft process as well, so he can tell you the goods, the greats, whatever else he needs to talk about. But first, Takoby, how you doing, man? What was your take on the NFL draft?
Good, man. Good. Appreciate you having me up here. Like I said, man, I'm excited about the draft. There's a lot of great moves, a lot of great players coming into the league. It's always great to see guys being able to kind of live out their dreams. Haven't been there before, so it's a wonderful feeling. It's a bittersweet weekend, but and some teams made some questionable moves with some guys, but a lot of teams got improved and they got a lot better. So it's gonna be fun watching it coming up this year.
I got a few questions for you, man. And you can we'll go from there. Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb. Everybody had them as the best receivers in the draft. Everybody thought most people, Mel Kiper, had them going in the top 10 both. So Are they overrated because of the top 10 prediction, or do you think that certain teams just didn't need them? The 49ers passed off of them. Other teams in the draft at the top 10 passed off. So give me your raw thoughts.
I personally feel like a lot of teams went after a need this year. They didn't necessarily go after. Some years you watch the draft and it's just best player. Teams are just taking the best player, not necessarily the need. And especially in the first round, that's something that I really try and watch is to see if a team goes after the best player or, like I said, a need guy. And most of the times the teams that are consecutively good year after year after year after year, they take the best football player because that guy's a football player. His skill set is going to kind of transcend different systems as opposed to just taking a guy out of need. Because if that position is a little weak, then they're taking the guy out of need, not necessarily the best football player. I think Jeudy and CeeDee, I think they're top 10 talents. I think both of them will work out just fine in each system, being with Dallas and with Jeudy with the Broncos. I think the biggest thing for both of them was the fact that, again, they moved past some teams. They got looked over by some teams because teams really need offensive linemen. A lot of offensive linemen are retiring, and the offensive line play isn't what it should be from a standard in the league. So teams are just trying to rack up and get offensive linemen and keep those quarterbacks standing up because you get guys like Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee, they can't catch the ball unless when they hitting the ground. Their quarterbacks is on the ground all the time. So I think that's why they got passed up a little bit. But I think both of them are top 10 talents, and they'll outplay their value in a couple of years. And so a lot of teams, they went after O-linemen. You see Jadarick Willis, Mekhi Becton, Andrew Thomas, the tackle out of Georgia. The Giants took 4th overall. A lot of people were surprised that the Giants didn't go after Isaiah Simmons, the linebacker out of Clemson. Kind of potential, more of a game-changing kind of transcending talent is a guy that has a linebacker body, can rush the passer, can play rangy in coverage. He can do a lot of different things. Kind of shocked me, but again, when you look at the fact that they made the investment to get Daniel Jones, they've gotten Saquon Barkley, Darius Slayton as one of their receivers. They're trying to shore up the offense, and they need help to keep Daniel Jones standing up. And to be honest, Saquon Barkley can't run the ball unless he's got guys paving the way. Andrew Thomas was, if not mistaken, he was one of the top 3 offensive tackles in the nation coming out of college. That graded out. He graded out top 3 as a tackle. So I think the Giants just kind of looked at how well he graded and the fact that he played in the SEC and against all those good defensive linemen throughout the SEC. But that was another, like I said, I still kind of scratched my head because to me, I really feel like Mekhi Becton and Jadarick Willis, as well as Tristan Wirfs, all 3 of those offensive tackles, they'll all 3 have a better opportunity, and they'll do better as their ceiling is higher, much higher.
Offensive lineman, like it's like by default, like you just can't have enough. So if a team gets offensive lineman, okay, I get it. Any other position, you might say, now why do they get this when they need this? Like we were saying, like if you got a receiver and you got another receiver, why did you get this receiver over these two receivers? And speaking of that, why do you think Henry Ruggs and John Gruden was very excited, excuse me, he was very excited for that draft pick over CD Lamb and Jerry Judy? So, tell about that, because that's the same position. And CD Lamb has probably the two best receivers in the game coming out of college this year. So, what was John Gruden's mindset on picking him? What was the reason? Was it because of scheme or what?
I watch the Raiders a lot. I'm a Raiders fan. I played there. Loved it, Bay. Bittersweet to watch them go to Vegas, but at the same time, love the Raiders. So, from what I saw, I think the biggest thing that bothered John Gruden this past year is he didn't have a true player that he could look at and say, "Hey, just go run by everybody and open up the middle of the field." Derek Carr Derek Carr is more of a field general quarterback. He's going to get the ball in guys' hands. He's going to be accurate about it. He's going to be on time. He's not a guy that's going to run around in the backfield, make a bunch of plays downfield that way. And he's not a big arm guy. He's not going to take a bunch of deep shot throws. That offense with Tyrell Williams and then you got Hunter Renfrow, it was very limited as far as at receiver of what they could do. And they wanted Tyrell Williams to kind of be the guy. And I think they realized Tyrell does better as he is a sidekick, not necessarily as being the guy. So I think they took Henry Ruggs to kind of run it as just a speedster. I kind of look at him and I call him kind of great value Tyreek Hill. He's kind of, to me, he can become Tyreek Hill. He's very similar to Tyreek Hill with his speed and the way that he stretches the field. But, he's not the most efficient route runner. He's not the most from a technical standpoint as a receiver. He's not the most polished. CD Lamb, in my opinion, was right in front of Jerry Judy. But I think with the Raiders want to do, I keep wanting to say Oakland here, Vegas. They want to do, I think they can look at him and say, hey, we can move you around in a bunch of different positions. We can get the ball in your hands, and you're a weapon. You're a guy that we can use in a bunch of different ways. So I think that's why they liked him so much, is because while he's a very unpolished receiver, his speed alone can change the way that teams have to cover and look at that offense.
Yeah, I agree with that. It looks like that makes a lot of sense with Gruden. He's looking for guys he's looking for playmakers right now. He don't need care if you play receiver, running back, whatever. He just needs something that can get the ball moved up the field and move the chains. And that's what I think he got in Henry Ruggs, a guy you can move around everywhere, like you were basically saying. Now, the question of all questions in the draft that I've seen a lot of heat and conversation come around with, Jordan Love gets drafted immediately, first round, to the Packers.
That's the one team in this whole draft that I still can't figure out what they were trying to do. I don't understand it. They took Jordan Love early, and then unless they just felt like this receiver class was so deep that even the undrafted free agents were kind of a steal, as well as, I'm just looking at it from an overall standpoint of them saying, like, well, do you all feel like maybe you'll get a guy that'll be cut from another team as a cap casualty to kind of add to the team? Because truth be told, Devontae Adams is the guy over there. He's the guy. He's surrounded by other bodies as receivers.
Right.
Not like Aaron Rodgers is working with top-notch talent receivers anymore. Like, these are development guys alongside Devontae Adams. And then you see Jordan Love, and you just start to see a host of other picks that they made where you just kind of scratch your head and you just wonder, like, y'all trying to help Aaron Rodgers, or y'all really trying to just discourage him from being here? Like, because while Jordan Love does have the ability to, they say his ceiling is Patrick Mahomes. I thought he was a second or third round pick. I would have taken him probably where where they took Jalen, where Philly took Jalen Hurts, which is another one that I scratched my head at. But yes, they realize now that they paid a guy that may or may not get hurt, so they need a two that can walk in there and not only win the game in some different ways. You know, Carson Wentz can move with his feet and get around, but he's 2 steps away from getting hurt all the time. So I guess they figured why go get a guy that can develop and actually be a good two as opposed to trying to stick it out with Carson Wentz again and potentially him getting hurt. I don't know though. That Jordan Love one was the one that just when that happened, I was just kind of like, oh no, here we go. Like the questionable picks have already started. It's the first round. Like at least we got to pick number 26, but they've started that.
Right, I agree. Now we can talk about the man who's snatching the phones. My God. CD Lamb goes to Dallas. What you think about Dallas? I got a few stuff I want to say about Dallas too, but I'm gonna let you go first.
That was a hilarious moment. I think everybody that's been a professional athlete kind of sat there and laughed, or just an athlete in general, just kind of sat there and saw that and was like, wow, that happened on national television.
Was the ex-girlfriend of Trae Young too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good at being around stars, ain't she?
I was about to say, so she should have known. That's why after I saw it, I was like, well, she should have known what was gonna happen when she went for the phone. Like, this ain't her first time dating an athlete. Like, she know at this point. But man, I love CeeDee Lamb to Dallas, man. I think with Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, and him. The thing is, Mike McCarthy is going to push all three of them. He's going to push all three of them to not only learn the slot position so that all three of them can get different touches and create different matchups, but it's going to maximize their game. When I was in Oakland with Amari, man, he's a tough, hard worker, man. He works really, really hard off the field, and he gets on the field and he turns it up and he tries to come in and be the best he can be every day. And I think that's what McCarthy is looking for, having been in Green Bay with, different guys, Greg Jennings, different guys like that are just going to go out there and they're going to work and they're going to execute. I love it though. I like I said, I think I told you outside of your Niners, Dallas, I think stole the draft this year, and I think they're going to have the next best shot behind the Niners to make a run in the NFC.
But this is my thoughts on it. You're right. They did have a great draft, no question. But this is my thing with the Cowboys. This is the thing that I was looking at. Like, it's two things that comes out of this Mike McCarthy head coaching, new coach position. Two things I look at. One, Dak Prescott might have some great numbers. Two, Zeke might not be as much effective in this offense unless he's catching the ball. What I noticed in Green Bay is they had plenty of times to draft really, really good running backs.
And they never did.
And right. So that means he's a pass happy guy. It's like he was content with throwing the ball a lot. And I noticed, like, even with Lace, I'm like, he didn't even get the ball as much, but they had chances in those drafts to get good running backs. It was like he was already content with, I'm going to just throw the ball. So adding these receivers like Lamb, do you have Amari Cooper? You lost Witten to Las Vegas Raiders. And now you got, of course, Zeke Elliott back there. And the people don't understand, like, the contract that, but this, what I'm saying is this. Then I'm going to get to the contract with that. The situation with the Cowboys is, this is nothing new to me. The Cowboys always look great on paper every single year and find a way to do something to lose. It be teams, you be like, man, this team is really going to the Super Bowl. And at the end of the year, this team don't even make the playoffs. This is what I look at when I see the Cowboys. I'm like, yo, they do stuff like this all the time, make great moves. Some people say they do, some people say they don't. No question, they have had a great draft this year. By far, I know that. But now it's like with the Cowboys when they have stuff on paper, because they used to doing great things on paper. It's like, okay, we've seen this story before. Let's see what we do off paper. Any other team do this, we might get them even a higher shot. Like, oh, this team will be legit. Mm-hmm. Now with the Cowboys, it's like, man, they do this all the time, and they might not make the playoffs. I wish them the best. Now, people understand, I don't know why Dak is asking for all that money. I get it. He's a good quarterback. But it's my thing, man. People don't notice that last year's Cowboys team was always down about 2-3 touchdowns, maybe 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns or whatever in the fourth quarter. So that leads you to throw the ball because you have no choice. Not because they wanted to throw the ball. It was because they had to throw the ball to get back into the game. So his numbers look better than what it really was, is because he was forced to throw. Now, if they was winning games, we wouldn't even be talking about this high deal contract because he'd be handed off to Zeke Elliott because you'd be controlling the pace. But the Cowboys had put themselves in so many holes last year, he was forced to throw a lot, which he wouldn't have if they was somewhat controlling the pace of the team. So I get it. But then a lot of these throws up when they game-winning games. You didn't have game-winning throws or game-winning touchdowns. So I give you want your money. I ain't knocking him. And I hate the situation happened with his brother, whatever. I mean, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, like, slow your roll, champ. Let's get here, and then let's see some more of you before you start asking for those huge numbers. $40 million, I want to say he asked for a year.
Yeah.
Maybe between me 25 to 30, maybe. But anything else over that, man, slow your roll, brother. You ain't even won a playoff game. You ain't been to the Super Bowl, and you asking for best quarterback money. You are insane right now. If you getting that right now. Jimmy Garoppolo done got to the Super Bowl. I mean, team or not, overall team, I get it. But he's got to the Super Bowl. It's been guys who's gotten there, man, that you know before him. You know, Jared Goff done got to the Super Bowl. You know, of course, on the tired of the defense, but he still got there. Yeah. You know, I mean, you asking for some money that you ain't even proving yourself. You can't get your team to the Super Bowl. That's money. That's Super Bowl money, man. That's money that Patrick Mahomes supposed to be asking for right now.
I was just
Patrick Mahomes fussing about no money right now. And he deserves to get paid a lot of money. But you don't hear him rambling and fussing. Mm-hmm. All you hear is say, "We'll get a deal done." He ain't around here holding out, getting mad. He just won the Super Bowl. You don't see him saying that like that. So that slow your roll, brother. You know, if Patrick Mahomes ain't sitting here complaining about a huge contract, I don't know why you even trying to come out your mouth that way, or your agents. I don't know if it's you or your agents talking, because you probably fill me in on that. The agents maybe get more money, or maybe just that really wanting that. I don't know, but I look at it like this: they both wrong, because he ain't even won a playoff game to ask that type of money. Like some stuff, it's just a no-brainer. Some stuff is just simple logic, and that's what baffles me though on Cofield, is that Mahomes ain't around here complaining and whining, and he just won the Super Bowl. He probably should be the highest paid quarterback right now in the league. Mm-hmm. But you don't see him complaining. He a champion.
100%.
Oh, you're wrong. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, man.
I agree with you, man. I when I first saw what Dak was asking for, I thought to myself, okay, either he's about to go out here and light up the league and say, I got the arm talent and I got the ability that when you name Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, you got to put Dak Prescott there. Not when you name Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson, you putting Patrick Mahomes in there. I thought that's what he wanted to do. Was he wanted to make the league go, respect me. Like, I'm going to show y'all while I'm asking for this money this year. I'm going to take America's team on a run. I'm going to show everybody what I can do. And the more I watched, it was kind of like, you're not doing anything any different than you have any other year. Like, this isn't a new transcending talent. You're doing what you consistently do, which is not bad. You're not bad.
Right.
But coming from a guy that watches the Raiders a lot and is a Raider fan, you are probably one tier above Derek Carr. And that's coming from a guy that sat there and went, your one receiver was my one receiver at one point. So I'm giving you one tier above. Your weapons, you're one tier above. As far as your time, as far as what you're doing back there when you have the ball in your hands, yeah, okay, you move a little better than he does. But again, the arm talent isn't so crazy much better. It looks they look similar. And I'm looking at Derek and I'm looking at Dak and I'm going, I could give y'all both the same money. Like, I could give y'all both the same money, the same contract, and we can go about ourselves. Now, the thing that most people don't realize is Derek Carr got paid the year after he went on a good run. So he had to keep 2016 season, we went 12-4, and then the next year he got paid. Well, Derek took a pay cut because he wanted to keep more athletes and more good players around him. Now, when you were talking about you were talking about common sense. That was the common sense part. That's going. I'm not Aaron Rodgers. I'm not Patrick Mahomes. I'm not Lamar Jackson. I need talent around me to succeed. So I'm gonna take some money, but I'm not gonna take as much as I could get. I'm gonna leave some cushion for guys to come, sign, get paid a little bit, and want to play here because they're going to get paid a little bit more money than maybe somewhere else because I'm going to leave some cushion. Dak out here like I'm trying to soak it all up. I'm trying to get it. I need it all from you. I need it all. You got to give it all. Now, I don't know whether you were asking about the agent. Partly, I don't know whether that's the agent going, this is a black quarterback. Why are you trying to slight him? That could be part of their argument. Don't slight the black quarterback. You pay him what he's worth. He's been out here. He's helped your team. He's a good football player. If he goes somewhere else, you're going to be hurting. On the other hand, it's also one of them things of like, this league is very stingy. This league is very stingy with who they do and don't pay.
Right.
Being the head, you being the quarterback one for the Dallas Cowboys, and everybody's watching you, and you know every holiday you're gonna be on TV, merchandise, commercials, you're gonna be the guy. Well, that leads me to believe if you know you're gonna be all of that, yeah, you are asking for top dollar because you're going, I am America's team's guy. Like I'm the guy in the face of everything, whether we're losing, whether we're winning. But the part that I really can't refute that what you said is we watch this every year. We watch this Dallas team do this every year. We'll look on paper and say this might be the best Dallas team in the last 4 years, and they go out there and go 8-8. And you sit there and you kind of go, what happened? Well, this happened, that happened, and this happened. And then you look at them on paper and you go, but they should have probably lost 2 games all year, and they end up losing half of them. And that's because guys come out there and they realize the responsibility that comes with playing in Dallas. They realize the tabloids, the media, and it becomes a lot. And the pressure of going out there and being the best player on the football field each and every Sunday, Monday, or whenever the game is.
Right.
It's every single day. And I think that's why Dak wants so bad to get paid, because he looks at the stress that comes with that job and he goes, you never hesitated to pay Tony Romo. You never hesitated to pay Tony Romo. And Tony Romo didn't win anything.
That's true. That does make sense when it comes to that, though.
He won nothing. So if you're hesitating to pay me, I'm going to ask for more. Because if you don't pay me, I can go somewhere else and get it, because I guarantee you, to a team that's down bad, that's looking for quarterbacks, that's searching, that's scratching their head, after this year and gonna go, oh, well, we thought we had our quarterback situation figured out. We got to go back to the drawing board. Now Dak is sitting there going, I've shown I can handle the pressure situation with one of the biggest markets, if not the biggest market in the NFL. You pay me what I'm worth, at least I can go out here and be competitive and we can be okay. Because now I don't have the stress of walking. If I'm not playing in Dallas anymore, I got to wake up and think, oh man, I threw a pick last night. We know everybody gonna talk about that on ESPN. They ain't gonna talk about the game one. They gonna talk about the pick I threw. Yeah. So he looking at it saying, I'm using the situation. I'm using the way that y'all treated me. I'm using the way that things that went on here and took place, and I expect to be compensated for it, because in this league. And Cam Newton's a prime example. You're only what you did last. What have you done for me lately? If you ain't done nothing for them lately, move on. They're gonna literally move on from you.
I agree. Now let's get to these. I got 2 short topics. We'll make it short and quick. You know, Jalen from TCU, receiver, went to Philly. Mm-hmm. Justin Herbert goes to the LA Chargers. Mm-hmm. Tua makes his landing in Miami. Did not leave the finale after that. But give me your raw thoughts on those 3 going to those 3 places.
Jalen Reagor. I like Jalen Reagor. I like him a lot. It comes from It's funny that Philly took him because his dad played in Philly, Monte, and I remember him from back in the day. Good D lineman, big strong D lineman. I like him. I don't know that that was the receiver that they should have taken there. I feel like they could have got him maybe where San Fran took Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk, I think I'm saying his name correctly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they could have got him there. Or I personally think they could have even switched out with Green Bay and moved down and moved back 5 spots and still got him there. And they would have been fine because the Chargers weren't going to take him. The Saints weren't going to take him. And the Packers needed to. So I would have probably assumed, hey, the Packers probably are going to want you. So let's just move back into their spot. They can move up. If they want to take Jordan Love, that's fine. But we know that Green Bay is probably the last. That's the spot that they're gonna want to move into. Like I said, I like him. I've watched some tape of him. I've watched actually a few games of him. I think his speed kind of transcends everything else. To go from Nelson to have a Deshaun Jackson there, which is a post-go comeback guy, to challenge defenses and make them so that they do have to lift coverage. I think it'll allow Jalen to be a little bit more comfortable in running and catching and running routes that he doesn't necessarily have to do things where he's trying to run the top off of coverages because he's got a guy opposite of him that can do that. I think it's a good fit for him. I just think they reached a little bit to get him. And that's just me nitpicking. I think he's a great player. I personally like Justin Jefferson more than I like him. But that also might be because I got to see a lot more Justin Jefferson playing at LSU and playing primetime SEC ball as opposed to playing in the Big 12 at TCU. And to be honest, his quarterback troubles, that they always went through a quarterback issue at TCU. They were always shuffling, trying to figure out who their Q was going to be. So, it's to be determined if he's a great player with a great quarterback. If he's going to be an even better receiver with a good solid quarterback. And let's be honest, we don't know if Philly's quarterback is going to be on the field. We don't know. We don't know how many games he's going to get out of. You're going to get out of him because you could get 3 or you could get a whole season. You just don't know. So I like that. But like I said, I think it's not a bad fit at all. I think they're gonna definitely be all right with him. You said Jalen Reagor. Who did you say after Jalen Reagor?
Tua and Justin Hubert with LA Chargers.
I think Tua do fine in Miami. I think Tua do fine down there. What I heard, they had a doctor. They had their own private doctor check him out and check his hip out. I actually saw his pro day tape that where he was throwing and everything. He looked good, man. He looks really good. The other thing is kind of like with Dak, being able to play in a big market down there in Alabama where all eyes are on you and every Saturday everybody's watching you. I think being in that AFC East and knowing the Patriots are there, knowing what everything is kind of going on with them, and Brian Flores being your head coach and the Patriots Association and the Bill Belichick tree, I think it's going to create a narrative of people wanting to watch the AFC East now more. And they're trying to acquire some pieces down there in Miami to make it competitive again and make the Dolphins a thing and a great team again. And I think this was their start. They're going to be their start. I don't think he's going to play until about midway point of the season because they got your boy Fitzmagic out there. So Ryan Fitzpatrick is a roll of the dice because he can literally come in there and have like an MVP like season, or he can come in there in the first game, he throw 4 picks and he just kind of look at you and be like, I ain't got it no more. So, but I think Fitz will do okay. I think Fitz will get him to about the halfway point of the season. I think Tua will start to take over from there. I think they're going to kind of protect that hip a little bit still, though. They're not going to fully release him out there and kind of let him be a deer in the headlights. And then 1 pick later, this was I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like Justin Hubert at 6. I like it. I think I just it's not him. I think I personally think Justin Hubert's a lot better than Jordan Love. I think he's grown up a lot. I think he's continuing to improve. But when Tyrod Taylor is your starter and you go after Justin Herbert next, my question is, why not just sign Cam Newton, put all three of them out there, and just say whoever wins the job wins the job?
Yeah.
Why go but at 6, you could have went. I mean, you got Mike Williams, you got Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
But you still could have went and added an option. I mean, added an extra great player. I mean, Isaiah Simmons is chilling there. Like, that's another guy you could put. You got Derwin James back there. You could have put Isaiah Simmons on the field with him. I mean, Jadarius Willis was there. Mekhi Becton was still there. There were guys that you could have got to shore up the offensive line, to shore up, to add another weapon on the outside so that Tyrod or Justin or whoever you want back there at quarterback, whoever wins that job, that you could have gave them an extra weapon. You got Isaiah Simmons you could have thrown on defense. You could have, again, moving guys around. And I'm just looking over there like, you took the third best quarterback. You took the third best guy. And it's not like he was killing it all 4 years of college. He was kind of roller coaster up and down. He do good for a few games.
I thought he'd be the first pick in the draft, but like you said, this year it was up and down.
And I watched him first game of the season, and the first thing that I said when I saw him was, he's not ready yet. He's not ready yet. It's a lot. This is a lot for him. This is a lot. It's going on, and you can tell. It's just the pressure is kind of there. And then midway through the season, I went, okay, he's starting to calm down there. By the end of the year, he was slinging the ball around just fine. He was comfortable again, but that's what makes me go. That's what makes me go. So you felt like you wanted to use. So you felt like he was top 10 pick worthy. You felt like that as a top 10 pick in a year, he would command your offense, and you would be A-okay with building everything around him. I don't see that in him. I see Keenan Allen getting frustrated. I see Mike Williams getting frustrated. I see Anthony Lynn getting frustrated. And I see an offense that's sitting over there going, okay, just let Tyrod run the show. Justin, I don't know what we're going to do with you because you're not the guy. Like, you're not the guy, which I'm happy for Tyrod because I like Tyrod Taylor. I've always liked Tyrod Taylor. He's a good dude, great quarterback, great person. But at 6, nah, man, it was too much for that board, man. You got Jerry Jeudy, you got CeeDee Lamb, you had, I'm just kind of looking at Justin Jefferson still there, Kenneth Murray, Cesar Ruiz, Patrick Queen was even there. Like, I love Patrick Queen. He had a year worth of work, but at 6, you took the third best quarterback there. I can't see it, man. I can't. I mean, if anything, trade out of the pick and just move back. Move back a couple picks because it wasn't like the next quarterback that went was literally, like I said, was to the Packers. So it wasn't like everybody was kind of waiting and itching to grab a quarterback. The next few teams don't even need one. Like the Panthers, they got a Q. Arizona's got a Q. Jacksonville's got a Q. Cleveland's got a Q. New York, the Raiders, Tampa, San Fran. Like, these aren't teams that are hunting quarterbacks. And you took it by 6.
And I get it, but I see what you're saying. And you're right. But I figured, like, I'll say this, and I'll just leave it. I'll make it short and quick. I'm gonna get to the next one. I wasn't surprised that he was gonna get picked there. I'll just leave it at that. It wasn't no surprise to me. But I didn't. I felt like Isaiah Simmons, guys like that should have been the pick. But for some reason, in my heart, I felt like Tyrod was gonna be that rental. They got rid of Phillip. Tyrod is going to probably lead this team until they figure out something, but it wasn't a surprise. I felt like they were going to go young. Did I expect him? No. I could have seen Jordan Love go there. And probably did. Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I kind of would have been like, all right. So you're going to take a runner, you're going to take an improviser like Tyrod Taylor, and you're going to take another improviser like Jordan Love, and you're going to put him behind him. And you're going to go learn from another guy that's done this. Like, learn from somebody similar. Justin Hubert he ain't damn That ain't his game. Again, I'm just sitting there going, what are we doing? Like, get another offensive lineman, sure that up. Get a defensive lineman, sure that up. You got Melvin Ingram on one side, Bosa on the other. You could have shored up the middle of that D line. You could have added another rusher. You could have added another piece in there instead of just going, man, we'll take
a year.
Yeah, like you could have went and got Javon Kinlaw. Like, how much would that have helped you? Like, you could have in the AFC West, where you got a team like the Raiders who want to run the ball. You got a team like go get C.J. Henderson. Like, look at you. You in the same division with the Chiefs. You gotta cover. You gotta cover. You gotta be able to get to the quarterback. You gotta be able to stop the run. You got the Broncos. The Broncos are gonna run the ball too. Like they're a run team. They're a run first team with Drew Lock as their quarterback. So again, at 6, that was just bad value right there. And you weren't shocked, and I was sitting there like, man, what a move! Like, wow, like, yeah, they just kind of reached. They completely reached right there.
Speaking of let's get to the season finale, to my boys, the 49ers, man. To me, I thought they had a great draft. They went after Kinlaw. I saw the smiles on John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's face. Then they went back up to get Brandon. They looked like they was very happy at them picks. Like they really want those the picks they wanted. It wasn't like they had to have their mind on nobody else for those 2 picks. Replacing DeForest Buckner, Kinlaw's going to start, and he's a big, wide body that can gather the quarterback with a D-line. You got D4 still there. Eric Armstead they just signed. You got Bosa. Sources say next year the other Bosa thinking about joining with this Bosa in San Francisco. So that'll be another pass rush. So I don't know how the D-line going to shake up then. And I'm looking at the receiver, Brandon. You put him on one side, he's a yak yard getter. You put him on one side, he's a yak yard getter. Then you put him with Deebo Samuel and him as the 2 receivers. Got Kittle. Jalen Hurd will be back healthy. Trent Taylor might play, but Jalen Hurd will be back healthy. You can move him to tight end. You can put him out sometimes. And, Wes Welker is the receivers coach in San Francisco. So, when I look at it now, like it made sense. He's been there for about 2 or 3 years. But I never knew. But not only that, you get quick throws out. So Garoppolo doesn't even have to have the ball that much. He can let them guys do much of the work. He ain't got to hold the ball for so long, get it to them. And the way Kyle Shanahan dials up his offense, it's about who can make plays, like you were saying earlier, about who can do these things in this offense that make sense. But the biggest thing that happened was Trent Taylor became a 49er. Now you got 4 running backs, or 3 running backs now. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. They run the ball by committee. So you got guys that can get behind this line and can just run, and we can run the ball a lot. So even though people talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, stuff like that, San Francisco gonna be back in the NFC Championship if they healthy. I just see it. I look at the Saints; they're very explosive, but the Saints have been the same situation with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Super Bowl ready since the last time they went. That was in 2009. And now I look at it, I'm like, every year they ready, and they still ain't been back to the Super Bowl. They've been in the playoffs, and some crucial things have happened in the playoffs to them. They lose some crucial games, like games that you expect them to win. They locked in. They always had talent on the offensive end. So when they get these guys on offense, it's like it's no surprise. But can they stop somebody? And then somebody could get a stop or two, maybe to stop the Saints. But the Saints always had an explosive offense. Every year they always been able to score. They still got to the Super Bowl. So when I look at them, it's another nothing new moment because they asking you to score. Their biggest issue is they can't stop nobody. Their secondary can't stop nobody. And that's why they had no reason. That's why they have been losing since 2009 in the playoffs, or taking an early exit in the playoffs, except for last year in the NFC Championship against the Rams. But when you look at it, you're like, the Saints always had an explosive offense, so they're going to be the same. So you replace Emmanuel Sanders with a young Brandon. We'll see how great he could be. The verdict's still out, but I feel like he's going to be great. Get Trent Williams a block. Now, I had a few people discussing a while back about Matt Breida. Matt Breida's a great running back, but they trade him off. But when you look at, like you said, the running back door, the running back house is full. Mm-hmm. Anybody can run behind this line. It ain't really a per se of who's number 1, number 2. We know Morstart played well last year. Coleman is the vet. So if they was to keep somebody, I'm not saying Coleman gonna still be there for a while, but right now he's a vet, so he knows the offense, so he'll be there for veteran leadership in the running back house. Mostert played amazing the second half of the season. Breida had got hurt, but Breida also coughed up the ball twice in the playoffs. Now he's been known to fumble yearly over the past few years when he was playing. I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm not saying he's great. He's good, but he was more of a need for Miami than he was a need for us, because when I look at this running back who we got 4 guys. You got Coleman, Mostert, Wilson, and now you got Jerry McKinnon come back. A lot of people don't believe in Jerry McKinnon, but Jerry McKinnon was a business move that, like you said, hey, look, he's saying, look, let me play here. He was getting $30 million. He restructured his whole contract to get probably little to nothing this year to say, hey, look, this is what I call a prove myself running back type of contract. And he was pretty good, and he was pretty fast like Breida. Could do a lot out of the backfield. He was going to be the number 1 running back if he didn't get hurt. So he was going to be the starter. So I was looking at that. Then I'm looking at, like, some people like Matt Breida going. I'm like, man, somebody got to go. Somebody going to be that's Matt Breida. I mean, you're looking at Kyle Shanahan offense. Kyle Shanahan, like I was telling you, is not a guy who like name players. He's cool with getting them, as long as they can be in the system and understand the concept of team. Mm-hmm. These 4 running backs are 4 running backs by committee that can run a lot. It's not like he just want 1 running back just to take over a game. He has 4 good running backs on the squad that can come in at any moment and run the ball pretty well. So it's just a tough situation for a running back situation for the 49ers and for teams, for a guy like Matt Breida to go. Of course, I don't want Matt Breida to go, but at the same time, looking at it like it makes sense. Mm-hmm. Because the way Mostert has came alive, Mostert is the number 1 running back, so that means he's going to get bumped down. Yep. Coleman probably going to be the 1-yard guy, 4th and 1. If it ain't Mostert, he gets bumped down. Juszczyk is the fullback that plays a lot in that offense where he can go out and pass and stuff. Don't get bumped down. I mean, the good thing about having a deep running back house home is that nobody gets tired. So you can run it down their throat as much as possible. But, I mean, for what they got, I mean, it made sense. But how do you feel about the 49ers in the draft? I'll let you know. But I feel like back to the Super Bowl, by the way, regardless of what people say.
Man, to be honest with you, I told you when I was watching, all I kept thinking was, yeah, I know one person that's extremely excited right now with what they making a lot of good business moves right now. They are playing this draft correctly. I love their first pick. I love the kid out of Arizona State. Like I said, I think his name is Brandon Ayuk. I think I'm saying that correctly. I think they're late first round pick. I'm not gonna lie though. He made as productive as he is and as good as he looks. He makes me nervous, and the only reason he makes me nervous is because of N'Keal Harry from last year. Another guy out of Arizona State that was productive, that played for Herm Edwards, that comes from a good pedigree, that you turn around and you go, oh, this guy's great, and we barely saw him.
Harry played for the Pacers this year, didn't he?
Sure did, and they took Harry at the end of the first round last year, very similar to where Brandon Ayuk slid to, but Harry was, I think, the last pick of the first round, whereas Ayuk was 25 overall. So, again, another Arizona State guy. I'm watching Herm Edwards kind of go out there and revive that program, have some productive guys and players and receivers, but I'm also going, N'Keal Harry was a first-round pick that barely played last year, had any impact on the game and any impact on the team. So, but again, I'm going to look at them. I'm going to believe my eyes and believe the film and go, okay, I know they made a good pick here, because the film looks a little different for, like I said, Brandon Ayuk. Javon Kinlaw was a steal, a complete steal, even at 14. I love his game. I love the power that he plays with, the anchor he plays with. He's going to have to become a little bit more active as a pass rusher, but it's not that big a deal. Just when you got 2 guys running off the edge, and D Ford and Bosa that are going to get home. So it's not like they're depending on him to come out of the box and put up 12 to 15 sacks every year, every other year. 5 to 7 is a lot for him. 5 to 7 a year, and that's productive based on what you got coming off the edge. Then they moved down to the 6, the tight end that they got. Again, you got George Kittle, but to be honest, the kid from Georgia they got, he's not bad either. He's a good blocker, solid blocker, and it's kind of like what you were saying about Kyle Shanahan, man. The biggest thing that I love about the 49ers and the more that I watch them is they look for football players. They look for guys that can play football, that have talents, and they go, okay, you're a football player. You do these things well, but overall you're a football player. So we're going to allow you to do this, that, and the third that you do well in this offense. And they plug and they play them. And it works out well. It works out magnificent. The fact that they got freaking Jalen Hurd coming back next year is just amazing. And then they go out and they get kind of a great value Jalen Hurd with Juwan Jennings at the end of the 7th.
Him too. Yeah, so
yeah, it's like a variation of Jalen Hurd. So it's kind of like, wow, like, so y'all got these kind of big body, big receivers, but then y'all also got y'all fast, kind of quick, get out in space, make moves, so that you're interchangeable. You can do whatever the matchup needs, whatever, and that's what I like watching about them is week to week, they kind of looked at what doesn't a team defend well. So do we have players that we can create plays and situations and matchups for these teams because we know they don't defend these formations and these plays well. And watching Kyle Shanahan, that's what they continue to do. They continue to put and play matchup ball and move guys around and just try and get guys in advantageous spots to touch the ball and score. With that running back situation, you almost ask for things like that to happen to your favorite team. You almost go, I wish that we could come in 5 running backs deep and whoever we put in the game could go out there and tote it and make it work. That speaks to your offensive line just as much as it's speaking to your running back room because you're going, y'all go out there and just pave the way. We'll run the ball. Like the guy back there holding on to the ball, he'll be fast, he'll be quick, he can read, he'll hit it 100%, and he can take it to the house. But when Breida fumbled those 2 times, everybody kind of knew at that point he was the odd.
He stopped playing them. Cal stopped playing them a lot.
Yep.
You know, that's why he went heavy with him in the that's why I was saying like those fumbles came at a crucial time. Not saying that he was a bad player and then like that. Just
he didn't need to fumble then.
Right.
Because
Cal stopped playing like that.
Yeah, everybody was kind of walking thin ice. And it was like I'm not gonna say walking thin ice, but as a pro, you kind of know, like, okay, I'm in a room with 4 other dudes that all are good. They all can play. We all can go out there and get the job done. So whoever has the first drop off, whoever makes the first mistake, they probably gonna be the one to go. It's not necessarily they're gonna be the worst player. It's just they made the first mistake because there's no way to filter this out. All of us are good. All of us are great. And him going down there to Miami, I think is a good thing for him. With a 1-2 between behind Jordan Howard, I think they're gonna be really good. And like I said, everybody, y'all San Fran fans, y'all watch Matt Breida tear it up, and now y'all sitting there like, we can let you walk. We all right. We can let you walk. I like I said, Tevin Coleman is one of a great dude, guy I trained with coming out of college. I don't think he's going to last there. I don't think he's going to make that roster. I think he's going to end up elsewhere just because, like I said, his skill set, I think they look at what they have and Jared McKinnon, C.J. Wilson, and Mostert and kind of can put them together and go, these 3 guys all do pretty much what you do. Like, they all can do bits and pieces of what you do, and I think they either try and trade him elsewhere or they try and get him out of there. The thing that hurts in the trade is he's been through some injury. Kevin's been through some injuries. He had a toe. I think he had an ankle too. So he's kind of had the injury bug bite him a little bit. And as a running back, that's what you hate. So I don't see him making the team only because I think everybody's gonna try and get him that down to a minimum deal for as cheap as they can. See if they can just get him to play through that just because he's been injured on and off for the past couple years. But man, your boys look good, man. Look like they about to make a run. I was proud of them, man. I was like, look at the NFC West out here, man. We boys rolling in the NFC West. They gonna be all right.
I was saying the same thing. Like I knew, like when Morstart was when Morstart got all those touches in the NFC Championship and Breida didn't get none. I said barely or whatever. I said this guy might be gone because with the running back room like we just said, and you seen Morstart because he had a great game. Run the ball so much, like they never pulled him out. He just kept going and going and running them and running them and running them. Most of the time, Kyle be like, "Okay, I'm a
Go
bring
rotate out. Yep.
take the load off." But he never went there. He never went there. I think he might have put Coleman in. He might have. I don't know. I think Coleman had set out. Matter of fact, that's what happened. Coleman got hurt.
Yeah.
I think that game,
he was hurt
after
in
that
the
game.
year. Yeah.
And after that, it was a heavy dose of no other running back but Morstart. He didn't go. He didn't bring in Breida. He didn't bring in nobody. So stuff like that does bring in the question of like, okay, you used to playing 2 or 3 running backs, and then when he goes down, you like, all right, Morstart, you got it. Raheem, you got it, or whatever. But